Hi there, Year 6, how's it going? Do you enjoy this little blue box that's tracking my face? Oh, it stopped. I've lost my face. Oh, it's back again. Hope everything's going well. This is week 3 of your distance learning for science. I've been enjoying it. I hope that you have as well. It's been quite an interesting challenge, I think is the best way of describing it. For the beginning of this week, before you even start this lesson, pause, stop, and you need to check your answers from last week. You'll see I've put up an assignment which gives you the answers or at least some feedback on how the answers could be done for your presentations. I've given you feedback on Google Classrooms. Remember, you upload your work on Google Classrooms. You don't need to email me. If you do, then you'll risk getting lost in the huge numbers of emails that are going through to my email when people ask me other stuff which isn't as important. In other words, it's not about Year 6 science. But this is what you're going to do this week. When you've done your work, you're going to share it with me on Google Classrooms. That's this page you're on, you've managed to find it, and you've clicked on me, so there's a little bit that says add to this project. Okay, so let me have a little look. I'm going to tab across to my work for you guys, and it says week 3, science for Year 6, phases of the moon. We're going to be looking at the phases of the moon. And this is first, watch the video of me, and there's a link, and you're watching it, so well done. First job, tick. You don't actually get any points for just watching the video because this is just the instructions. And then it tells you that the Earth's only got one natural satellite, and we call it the moon. It takes about 4 weeks for it to go through a complete set of phase changes, and it looks different on different nights. You've seen the moon before, probably. If you haven't, you should have, and I don't know why you haven't been looking out. And let me just tell you a little bit more about the phases of the moon. I've got Wikipedia's picture here. So, in the middle we've got Earth, and the Earth there, if I get my little cursor, can I zoom in? Oh, I could zoom in, except for it then doesn't zoom in at all. It just pretends to zoom in, if anything looks smaller. So here we go. We've got the Earth in the middle, and imagine yourself standing on the surface. Yes, you would have to be very, very small, but that's okay. The sun is always coming from this side over here where it says sunlight. You can see some beams of light represented by arrows. Now, when you are on the Earth, the moon is going around it. It's not really this close. The moon is actually quite far away. But the moon is going around the Earth, roughly taking 4 weeks, 29 and a bit days. So here we go. When the moon is here, the right-hand side is lit up. When the moon is here, the right-hand side is lit up. Moon is here, the right-hand side is lit up. Right-hand side, right-hand side, right-hand side, right-hand side, right-hand side. So it should all be the same, shouldn't it? Well, no, because when you're on the moon, when you're on the moon, you can look back at the Earth. When you're on the Earth, you can look up at the moon and you see only the side of the moon which is facing you. So at the moment, this one over here on the right-hand side, the side that's lit up is on the right, and the side that's facing Earth is on the left, but it's not illuminated, it's not lit up. So we see a new moon, it's completely dark. Then, as time goes on, we get through a waxing crescent. So if we looked at it, we'd see just this section on the right-hand side lit up. Then, a quarter of the way through its cycle, we've got the first quarter. Now, because the side nearest to the sun is lit up, well, that side is lit up on our moon as well. So we can see half a moon. We then get to a waxing gibbous. Waxing means becoming. And then we get to a full moon where the entire first side is lit up. Then we're on a waning gibbous, we're going away from it. We're in the last quarter. This is a strange one. The side that's lit up is facing the sun. But when we look at it, you have to imagine that you're kind of standing on the Earth. It looks like it's on the other side. So the side that's on your right, if you're standing on the Earth, would be the same side that was, it would be the opposite side as the side if you're on the other side of the planet. So that's kind of a weird one to get your head around, but that's what it does look like. I promise you can test it out by looking at the moon tonight if you wish. Waning crescent, we're heading away from things. So we're on waxing on this side, we're on waning away from the full moon here, and then we get back to new moon again, and then it cycles around and around. Okay, so what's your challenge? Well, you've got 2 parts. The first part is find out what the moon looks like on different nights. Oops, if I spelled on incorrectly, so let's change that one so it's now correct. So you're going to find out why the moon looks different on different nights. So that's your first job. You don't have to do anything for me for that. You're doing it completely for yourself. The second thing is what you actually have to do for me. You're going to explain it in a way that the rest of the class could understand. Then I'm going to say at the end of this one, upload this explanation here in Google Classroom. Now you could make a model and explain it. You could draw a picture and explain it. You could get some of your cuddly toys which happen to be circular and paint half of them black and half of them white. And you probably want to get parents' permission before you do that. But as long as you explain it in some way, I really want to hear you, your own voice, explaining what's going on. Now I know this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Most of you have access to a thing that will record your voice or will record a video of you. Either one is fine. Please make sure that you don't say anything inappropriate, because other pupils may get to see you doing this. If it's really good, I really want to share these ideas with the rest of the class, just like we would if we were in the real classroom. Now I've given some useful links to get you started. First one is Phases of the Moon for Kids. It's quite good fun, nice and easy. Second one is NASA's Earth's Moon. There's a nice little applet there that lets you go through the different phases. If you've never seen the moon, you can pretend that you've now seen it after looking at the NASA's one. And then there's a video, it's kind of the classic science teacher demonstration that I would like to have done with you, but I can't because I'm here in my kitchen and you're there in your room, depending on what room you're in, I don't know. So you can watch this lady doing her presentation and you'll be doing well. Now it's due on Thursday, and I've said at minute to midnight. You don't need to wait until midnight. That's really late. You should be going to bed at a good, healthy time so you get a good night's rest. But it's due by Thursday, and you're going to upload it, and I will give you feedback on that. Next week, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to have an in-class session, but hopefully they'll run for some of you, or if not all of you. And also we're going to continue some of these videos. Anyway, let me go back to my face so you can see me. This is me signing off. Make sure you're watching the sky on Sunday night as well, around 8 o'clock, 8:15, I don't know exactly. I'll have to check on the internet because the International Space Station is flying over Al-Ain, and I'd love you to see it as well. Just think of those 6 intrepid explorers sitting up there 400 miles, about 600 kilometers away from the Earth, whizzing around the planet. Amazing. Okay, have a lovely time. Let me see if I can find the bit that lets me pause this. Sayonara, see you later, bye bye, masalama.